Then he called the crowd to him along with his disciples and said, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me and for the gospel will save it."
You know, over the last years or so, I've been saying that to people, that you are not yourself, that you are someone else. Because when you were growing up and you resented your mother, you resented your father, you resented the situations that you had to go through as kids, when you resent someone, you become like them. And you're no longer yourself. You're that person. You could get old being your mother and never being yourself. And when you're someone else, instead of who you are, you live their life. You've been conditioned by them. You've been socialized by them. You think and act like they do. You overreact to things as your mother did or father. Most of the time it's the mother, but you overreact to things as they did. And because you have forgotten who you were before this happened, you really think that it's you. It sounds like you, it feels like you, because you've forgotten who you really are, or who you were prior to the fall. And I was telling the guys, or maybe on my radio show, that I've noticed that men, not all, but most men today don't even know what it is to be a man. They don't know how to think like a man. They don't know how to act like a man. They have everything about them is female, because they have forgotten what it is to be a man. It was taken away from them by their mothers when they were little boys. And the same thing with girls. Girls become their mothers. Or if you had a mean father that you were angry at, you become like your father, and you lose every sense of your idea of who you were prior to that. Isn't that amazing to live that way? And you could get old and die like that. And the reason that you die that way is because you're not willing to bear your own cross. You're not willing to bear the cross of overcoming your mother, or overcoming your father, or overcoming your peers, your friends. It's really painful. I mean, it's not painful if you understand you need to let that go, but it's painful to the ego to let that other identity go. 90% of people are not themselves. That's why we have all this mess going on, because if you were yourself, you would have a sound mind and a good heart, a heart that is created in the image of God. But nobody is themselves. Most people are not themselves. And I know that because until God took my anger away and allowed me and caused me to grow in the right way, I didn't know that I was not myself. I didn't know that the thoughts I had, the feelings I had come from my mother. I did not know that. I knew there was something wrong with me because I was weak in society, very emotional and all that stuff, but I didn't know I had taken on someone else's identity. And until you could really see that and bear that, overcome that, you're never going to be a disciple of God. You're never going to be you. You got to overcome that other identity that's in you. You really, really do. And the way you do it is, there's this actor by the name of Tyrese Gibson. Everybody know who he is? Yeah, Tyrese Gibson is an actor, a singer, a black guy, and he's real popular. And he apparently went through a divorce, and then they went through this custody case. It sounds like they're still going through that. He has a little daughter, and the wife is trying to take the daughter away so that he doesn't even have any contact at all with his daughter. And he's taking it very, very hard, to the point that he went on YouTube and made a video about it. And he's like, I'm paying $13,000 a month right now. What more do you want? What more do you want? He's like, don't take my baby. I'm like, he shouldn't have said that part. Don't take my baby. That sounds like a black female. Don't take my baby. A man don't say, don't take my baby. But because he is his mother, he doesn't know that that's not the way to do it. He really doesn't know, so I can't hold it against him because he doesn't know what it is and how a man deal with life. And a woman, a real woman, deal with life. And so this guy is on there crying and boohooing and just really carrying on. First of all, I never would go on video and make a fool of myself like that. You know what I'm saying? I would just cry at home. Drink a little wine. That's right. Lock my bedroom door and just boom. Oh, Lord, my baby. And nobody would ever know it but me and Jesus. And so this guy went on, made a YouTube video out of this, and now, not everybody, a whole lot of people making a mockery of him. They're mocking the guy. And he's like, where are my friends? Oh, apparently, according to him, the wife is lying to the daughter about him. And the daughter is apparently telling this to the counselor or somebody, that the father beat her or something like that. Now, he said, I only hit my daughter once when I was spanking her. He's like, she's just lying. Somebody feeding this to her. And so he's going on and on about it. And then he said, where are my friends? I know millionaires, I know billionaires, and no one is standing with me. Where are my friends? And it's pretty pathetic. It could be sad if you were an emotional person, but when you stand back and really look at it, it's pathetic. It's not pathetic that he's going through it, but that he put it on video. Because video, once you put it out there, it's out there. And it doesn't never go away unless you destroy the videos. But even in my worst days, when I was a weak, pathetic, emotional, poor excuse of a person out there just carrying on, I knew not to write about it or put it on film. Anytime something, because I'm thinking, I had the sense to think, one day I might change, you know what I'm saying? and people that see you doing this crazy thing, these things, they don't forget anyway. They're going to remind you all the time. I knew him when he was a whore. And here you are trying to be holy, right? But just imagine you have this on film being a whore or crying over some breakup or something like that. You can't say, no, I didn't do that. All right, here's the film. So that's with him for life. So you got to overcome all that. You got to overcome your surrounding. You got to overcome your environment. If you're not willing to endure those things, you will never be a disciple of God. That's what this is. You got to overcome your parents. You got to overcome all of them because you're not yourself. And then you start quoting the Bible and saying things that sound right, but the truth will be far from your heart. You still won't have peace. You read the Bible and you hear people talk about the truth, and you just report that back, but it's so empty, it's so shallow, it has no life in it. Because you're not willing to bear that cross. So here's what you do, like what I recommended to this actor, Tyrese. The first notice he got that he was going to court to have a divorce, go through a divorce, the first thing you have to do is be still and bear it. You got to be willing to accept whatever is happening. Be still and know God. When this woman said, I'm going to go, if she said that, I'm going to go to court and I'm going to take your child, you will never be able to see her again. And that's going to be shocking to a father, right? But take it. Don't resist it. And when you don't resist it, you stay calm, you stay in the presence of God, then you start to see how to endure it, how to overcome. And you will win the situation. You got to stay still in that very difficult moment. Because it's so shocking when you hear it. Now you feel afraid, you feel anger, you feel anxiety, and you just want to overreact and do something right away. First mistake. And so to endure, to bear your cross, you got to have the willingness to endure all things. and not resist it by overreacting. And the way you do it, whatever's happening to you, you got to know you deserve it. Like, what's his boy name? Tyrese deserves everything he's getting right now. He deserves it, and also it's a wake-up call for him. Because the reason that he's in this condition, he didn't see what he was getting into. He didn't see how he was creating that environment for that to happen by doing certain things, giving in to certain things, being wrong about certain things, being weak about certain things. So he really brought it up on himself. And so when you endure this stuff, you got to know you deserve every bit of it.
Yes.
Instead of thinking that, why this person treated me this way, I don't deserve this. We deserve what we get in life. And if you pay attention to yourself, you see that you bring it up on yourself. But your father, the deceiver, want you to think it's the other person. This is just a mean person. They ain't doing this to me. And it might be, but that's that mean person creating their own dark life. But you're getting what you deserve. Everything Tyrese is going through right now, the loss of friends. One thing I know for sure and without a doubt, there are many things I know for sure, but one I know for sure, you don't really have friends. Nobody have friends. Ain't no such thing as a friend. It's a lie to think you have a friend. I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth, so help me God. If you think you have a friend, wait until you disagree or they disagree with you. Wait until they find out a little something about you. Wait until something happens. That friend is gone. And the first one to try to kill you. Ain't no such thing as friends. Your only friend is in Jesus. Ain't no such thing as friends. Ain't no such thing as family member. Your family member turn on you quicker than your enemy. But it's beautiful to know this because now you can overcome that. And so when they do it to you, you understand. It's not personal anymore. You know what I mean? You got to overcome all that. You got to endure that. That makes sense? Ain't no such thing as no friend. That's black. Ain't no such thing as no friend.